Imagine finding yourself stuck in a lift. What would be your initial reaction? It's a thought that has crossed nearly everyone's mind at least once, and the answers vary wildly. Some might react with panic, their minds racing with worst-case scenarios, their hearts pounding in their chests. Others might be overcome with frustration, cursing their bad luck and the faulty mechanics of the lift. There are also those who might feel a sense of dread creeping in, the walls of the lift seeming to close in on them, their breaths becoming shallow and quick. These are all common reactions, but none of them are particularly helpful in such a situation. Your first course of action should always be to stay calm. Panic, frustration, and fear will only cloud your judgment and prevent you from thinking clearly. Instead, take a moment to assess the situation. Look around you, take stock of your surroundings, and try to get a clear understanding of what's happening. Now, let's talk about claustrophobia, the fear of confined spaces. It's a common fear, and one that can easily be exacerbated when you're trapped in a small enclosed space like a lift. But remember, fear is a reaction, not a reality. It's your body's way of responding to perceived danger, not actual danger. There are many ways to manage claustrophobia, even when you're stuck in a lift. Deep breathing exercises, visualization techniques, and even simple distraction methods can all help to alleviate the symptoms of claustrophobia. So, if you ever find yourself stuck in a lift, remember this. Don't let your mind run wild with fear and panic. Instead, take a deep breath, assess the situation calmly, and think about your next steps. You are not in immediate danger, and help is always on the way. Remember, the first step is to stay calm and assess the situation. Ever wondered if a lift could run out of air? It's a common question and a valid concern, especially for those with claustrophobia. But here's the good news, it's highly unlikely. First, let's talk about how lifts are designed. Contrary to popular belief, lifts are not airtight capsules. They are built with a ventilation system that allows air to circulate freely. This means that even if the lift stops moving, the air inside doesn't. And if you're worried about the lift being crowded, remember that it's designed to accommodate a certain number of people, and that includes the volume of air required for everyone to breathe comfortably. But what if the ventilation system fails? Well, that's highly unlikely too. Lift ventilation systems are designed to be fail-safe, meaning they will continue to function even in the event of a power outage. In fact, they are often connected to emergency power systems to ensure their continued operation. Now, let's talk about the science of breathing. An average adult breathes about 20,000 times a day, consuming around 11,000 liters of air. Sounds like a lot, right? But consider this. The volume of a typical lift is about 27,000 liters. That's more than double the amount of air an average person would need in a day. Of course, these numbers change based on factors like the size of the lift and the number of people inside it. But even in the most crowded scenarios, you would still have several hours worth of air. So, if you ever find yourself stuck in a lift, don't panic. Remember that the air supply is not a concern. Instead, use that energy to stay calm, press the alarm button, and wait for help to arrive. In conclusion, lifts are designed with your safety in mind. The chances of running out of air in a lift are extremely low, almost negligible. So rest assured, even if you're stuck, you won't run out of air. Tempted to climb out through the lift ceiling like in the movies? You might want to reconsider. While it may seem like a good idea, it's actually fraught with dangers and impracticalities. Let's start with the basic fact. Elevators are designed for vertical travel, not horizontal exploration. The hatch on the ceiling? It's there for maintenance and rescue operations, not for passenger use. Attempting to open it from inside is not only difficult, but could also lead to injury. Consider this. You've managed to open the hatch. Now what? You're faced with a dark, narrow, and potentially hazardous shaft. Plus, you're more likely to encounter live electrical components and mechanical parts. Not exactly a walk in the park. Take the story of Stephen, a man who found himself trapped in an elevator in New York. Frustrated and claustrophobic, he decided to pry the hatch open and climb out. Unfortunately, he slipped and fell down the shaft, suffering severe injuries. Or how about the case of Mary, a woman from Florida who tried to climb out of a stuck lift, only to get trapped between the elevator car and the shaft wall. These examples underline the dangers of attempting a Hollywood-style escape. So it's clear the movies have it wrong. Instead, wait for professional help. They're trained for these situations and are your best bet for a safe exit. Wondering how long people have been stuck in lifts? Let's delve into some real-life lift survival stories that will leave you inspired and perhaps a bit relieved. Let's start with Nicholas White. Back in 1999, this New Yorker got stuck in a lift for a staggering 41 hours. With no cell phone to call for help, White had to rely on his wits and resilience. He paced, he slept, and he stayed calm. His story serves as a testament to human endurance and the importance of keeping a level head in tough situations. Then, there's the unforgettable story of Maritz Fortaliza. In 2019, this housekeeper spent an entire weekend trapped in a lift of an upscale Manhattan townhouse. Despite the fear and uncertainty, Fortaliza remained calm and rationed her food and water. When she was finally rescued, she was in good health, a testament to her resourcefulness and strength. And who could forget the heart-stopping tale of Cesar Pelli? The architect was trapped in a lift in his own iconic Petronas Towers for 2 hours. He kept his cool, used the emergency button, and waited for help to arrive. These stories show us that humans are capable of overcoming even the most unexpected challenges. The common thread: staying calm, thinking clearly, and trusting in rescue efforts. So remember, if you ever find yourself in a similar situation, you're stronger than you think. So what have we learned today about being stuck in a lift? Firstly, we've discovered the importance of staying calm. An elevator is not a death trap, and you won't run out of air. You have enough oxygen to last for several days, so take a deep breath and remember that help is on the way. Secondly, we've debunked the Hollywood myth of escaping through the lift hatch. It's not only dangerous but also practically impossible, as most hatches are locked from the outside. Finally, we've learned from real-life stories that patience, resilience, and a positive mindset can make a huge difference. Remember the tale of Nicholas White, who was stuck for 41 hours? He survived by keeping his wits about him, and you can too. This wraps up our discussion on elevator safety. Knowledge is power, and now you're better equipped to handle such a situation. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video and want to see more, hit the subscribe button. See you soon.